All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Achak, Radash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. All right, in this particular video, I just want to touch on some current events, the tension that's going on right now between the U.S. and China and Taiwan. Now, if you don't know what's going on, the FBI director came out and said some time ago that China was planning for the better of 5 years to attack Taiwan, even doing drills surrounding Taiwan, which is very threatening. And they know that America backs Taiwan. They're allies with each other. So they are also getting ready to what? Cyber attack America to stop them from intervening with them invading Taiwan. Now, the U.S. came and said what? That they stand strong with Taiwan. Now, China didn't take too kindly to America saying that. I think America even sent somebody to Taiwan, and they took a picture with the president and all of that, saying that they stand strong with Taiwan. Now, China's saying what now? They're saying, you see it right there, breaking. China threatens to crush U.S. and Taiwan. Yeah, China came out and said, anybody that tries to separate Taiwan from China, hey, basically you're an enemy. You're going to get crushed. So you have the FBI director giving warnings saying, hey, they are going to cyber attack America, all right? Like they've been doing. They've been gaining access to your water, your banking, your electric, so forth and so on. All right. He also said what? That the cyber attack that's coming from China, all right, this coordinated attack is going to be 100 times worse than the AT&T attack, that we saw, a few months ago, to where brothers couldn't use their phone. And, a lot of people around the U.S. couldn't use their phone. Couldn't dial 911. It just said SOS. You couldn't contact nobody, get on the internet, nothing. It says it's going to be 100 times worse than that. Your food, your water, the electrical grid, so forth and so on, transportation, communications, So, hey, man, this video was just, touching on some current events and letting, you brothers know out there how close, we could be to shit popping. So this is why we should be doing all we can, in this thing, meditating on this truth, man, trying to build ourselves, make ourselves better, constantly killing that old man. Like Paul said, I die daily, dying daily, putting our best foot forward, trying to become better than we was yesterday, man. Conquering old demons, man. All right, we see tensions, the wars and rumors of wars. Because this is a rumor of war, There's real war going on right now between Ukraine and Russia. And Salaki, my children downstairs, eating. So please bear with me, But there's wars really going on right now with Russia and Ukraine. And Biden just came out and told Ukraine what? That they have permission to use their weapons to attack certain strategic points in Russia. And Putin mad about that shit. So, hey, we see in World War III, brew. It's at an all-time high right now, man. So we seeing a lot of things go down, man. This is not the time to be idle. All right, let's get that precept real quick. Matthew 24:6, and we read, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. We hear of wars right now, that Russia and Ukraine. All right, that's actual wars going down. Israel bombing Hamas, Hamas bombing Israel. That's actual war. They're bombing each other, man. They're killing each other, casualties on both sides. And rumors of wars with the whole China-Taiwan thing. And now America probably going to have to get into it. That's a rumor of war. But see, this is prophecy jumping off of the page. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. But we should be jumping for joy right here, man. You see that? We should be jumping for joy. We seeing these things come to pass. This is prophecy, man. You see that? Let me, this is just to prove, hey, FBI director says Rubio warns Chinese cyber attack will be 100 times worse than AT&T outage. Salakia. Your power, your water. That's right. He came out saying, hey, it's going to be worse than your AT&T attack, man. But you have people out here trying to make Hebrew Israelite retreats. You know, they want electricians and so forth and so on to come help them build a Hebrew Israelite retreat in the woods, man. We got stuff like this happening. So where you could wake up and be faced with the news that China went on and invaded Taiwan. And they looking at America like, what the fuck you gonna do? Because a cyber attack is about to happen, most likely. You know, let's play this.
New Proganics Dual accelerates success by combining the proven soil building benefits of Proganics Biotic Soil.
But as you've heard, in recent years, we have seen a deeply concerning evolution in Chinese targeting of U.S. critical infrastructure. In particular, we've seen Chinese cyber actors, including those known as Volt Typhoon, burrowing deep into our critical infrastructure to enable destructive attacks in the event of a major crisis or conflict. This is a world where a major crisis halfway across the planet could well endanger the lives of Americans here at home through the disruption of our pipelines, the severing of our telecommunications, the pollution of our water facilities, the crippling of our transportation modes, all to ensure that they can incite societal panic and chaos and to deter our ability to marshal military might and civilian will. Now, the threat is not theoretical. Leveraging information from our government and industry partners, CISA teams have found and eradicated Chinese intrusions in multiple critical infrastructure sectors, including aviation, water, energy, transportation. Now, based on this information, this is likely just the tip of the iceberg. So we're working aggressively with our partners in industry and across the U.S. government to take action now, knowing that this threat is real and this threat is urgent. First, through authorities from the Congress, based on a recommendation from the Cyberspace Solarium Commission, we are using our Joint Cyber Defense Collaborative, or JCDC, to catalyze robust operational collaboration with industry and government to enable us to uncover additional Chinese malicious activity and to develop ways to more rapidly detect it. We are also using our free services and resources in providing intelligence to critical infrastructure owners and operators across the country so that they can detect and prevent Chinese malicious activity. And we're using our now hundreds of subject matter experts and advisors across the nation to work directly with businesses to help them improve the security and resilience of the critical services that Americans rely on every hour of every day. The reality is, however, eradicating Chinese intrusions, bolstering resilience, and even some of the great disruptive work that Director talked about, it's all necessary, but it's not sufficient. The truth is, the Chinese cyber actors have taken advantage of very basic flaws in our technology. We've made it easy on them. Unfortunately, the technology underpinning our critical infrastructure is inherently insecure because of decades of software developers not being held liable for defective technology. That has led to incentives where features and speed to market have been prioritized against security, leaving our nation vulnerable to cyber invasion. That has to stop. Technology manufacturers must ensure that China and other cyber actors cannot exploit the weaknesses in our technology to saunter through the open doors of our critical infrastructure to destroy it. It has to change.
Hey, and they already ripping some Chinese technology out of major, phone services and things like that. They already gutting, some of the technology. Letting you know that, hey, America and China are hey, the tensions is at an all-time high right now. And the CISA, not the CIA, the CISA, which is the organization that protects America from being cyber attacked, they got cyber attacked by China. All right? So you got people saying, well, is there anything that America can do? Well, no, because the Chinese hackers outnumber American cyber attack team, or whatever you want to call them, the CISA, 50-1. So every one person here in America to stop cyber attacks, there's 50 Chinese hackers. See that? So, hey, it'll make that AT&T hack look like child's play. It's going to be 100 times worse. Can you imagine that? Waking up and the electric is off, man. They saying that the water treatment is disrupted. Boil your water. They interrupted the natural gas too. Let's say these things happen, man. What you gonna do? This is why we shouldn't be sitting on our hands, man. Let's get inside this video, man.
A new threat has been issued to the United States from China as of today, Sunday, June the 2nd, 2024. We're hearing that the defense minister, Dong Jun, says that whoever dares to split Taiwan from China, referring to the separatists as they call them, and the United States who is defending them, they will be crushed to pieces and they will suffer their destruction. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what it was that he had to say and how this is indirectly being focused towards the United States and to the new leader of Taiwan. And China says that they are ready to forcefully stop Taiwan independence. In other words, they're saying they are ready to bring about war against Taiwan. We've already received warnings for quite some time, for several months now, from the FBI Director Wray, that China was planning to attack Taiwan, and that when that happens, we can expect to see infrastructure systems in the United States be compromised. Now, here's another article that just recently came out that says Taiwan separatists, they will be crushed, says the Chinese defense minister. The Chinese defense minister has told the security forum that China's army would forcefully stop Taiwan's independence. Taiwan has slammed the comments, calling them provocative and irrational, but China is increasing the pressure against Taiwan and against the United States. Let me know your thoughts. Are we on the brink of World War III? I've just shared with you over the past couple of weeks, articles coming out. It seems like it's going back and forth as we're getting things more and more intensified with Russia, NATO, the United States, Ukraine. And then on the other hand, we also have China, Taiwan, and the US mixed up in that. And we've heard people say, we've heard warnings coming out from these articles that if...
Hey, wars and rumors of wars, man. See that?
China invades Taiwan, that the United States will be hit and it will lead to World War III. Let me know, are we on the brink of World War III? And I'm losing track of going back and forth between the threats coming from Russia and from China now towards the United States. It seems like there is a lot going on with this. And I'm going to be keeping you guys up to date on everything. Now, do me a favor. I see that we've got about 738 people on with me live. Please hit that like button for me. It just takes a second. Helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest information. And again, this happening literally today. We're hearing that the defense minister for China coming out and making these statements saying that they are ready to forcefully stop Taiwan, and also saying that whoever dares to try to split Taiwan from China will be crushed to pieces and suffer their own destruction. Also, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. It's totally free. I'll keep you up to speed on everything that's going on. Anything that you or your family need to know, you want to stay up to date on what's taking place, hit that subscribe button. And also stay connected off of social media platforms in case we are hit by cyber attacks. Communications might go down. If YouTube were to go down, you can stay connected to me at www.steveramnews.com. Again, that's www.steveramnews.com. But let me go ahead and get you guys caught up on the latest. I see we've got about 859 people with me in the room. Again, hit that like button. Shaky Moo, thank you so much for supporting the channel, giving out those memberships. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on everything. Now, let me share with you what it was that was said literally today by the Chinese Defense Minister Dong Zhang. He said that his military, they are ready to forcefully stop Taiwan's independence, and he's called for greater exchanges with the United States over the issue. So just so you know, the United States is the main ally of Taiwan, and pretty much they're saying that the United States is the main thing that's stopping an invasion of Taiwan from China, as China knows that we are the allies of Taiwan, and if they were to attack them, that the United States would come to the side of Taiwan and try to aid them. But China has planned for quite some time now to invade Taiwan. And what we've heard, we actually saw over the past week, them doing military drills around Taiwan, very aggressive around the island, because they were very
Salakia for the disruptions, some things going on over here, but I hope they ain't hurting the quality of the video.
pleased with the new leaders' statements that they were separate from China, not saying that they were a part of the mainland. China very, very upset and showing their disapproval and their anger and frustration with these provocative war drills all along the borders of Taiwan, essentially threatening to attack them. Now, we're also hearing that China has been planning to do this for over the course of at least the last 5 years, that China has been having cyber attacks or cyber hackers infiltrating U.S. systems, because they know that the day when they decide to attack Taiwan, that the United States will come to their side. And China is then also planning strategically to take down infrastructure systems, critical infrastructure systems throughout the United States, a coordinated effort to shut down systems, put people in the dark, stop the water, have all sorts of issues. We've heard transportation, communication, water, all of these have been compromised already by the cyber army from China against the United States. And the U.S. is doing everything they can, we're hearing, to try to stop them. The CISA is working around the clock to try to block them, but they're saying for every one defense person that the United States has, there are 50 attackers coming against the U.S. And there are literally dozens upon dozens of systems they are saying that they know have already been compromised.
Hey, that sounds like Jacob's trouble, don't it? The electric, the water, communications, transportation, natural gas, so forth and so on. All of this is attacked one day. Now, I don't know how bad it's going to be. It can be half of America is without power, electricity, so forth and so on. 75%, 80% of America. Shit, 99%. Who knows how bad it'll be if it'll happen. But if this was to happen, man, you know how bad that would be? Hey, man. Because it makes sense. How bad does a cyber attack have to be to stop you from deploying your military? That means the cyber attack has to be catastrophic to the point to where it's all hell breaking loose right here in the U.S. To where you gotta deploy your troops on the streets of the USA to keep these people down. You know what I mean? To keep all hell breaking loose from over here.
Now, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Warriors of Ramoth. I appreciate that a ton. It says this is like 100x times for people to prep, he says. Steve, thank you for the updates. God bless you and your family, says Marianne Wilkerson. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thompson family, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Now, the article says that speaking at the Shangri-La Dialogue Conference in Singapore on Sunday today, Dong said that Taiwan was the core of core issues for China. So China is saying that this is the number one thing on their mind. But Taiwan's governing Democratic Progressive Party.
You see that? China said that this Taiwan thing, it's the number one thing on their mind. FBI director came out and said it. He said it not just once, but he said it he warned plenty of times that, hey, China is ramping up their cyber attacks. They're getting worse and worse and worse and worse. They are planning on attacking Taiwan. Like, what's the old sayings that they say? It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And when it does happen, they have another plan in there to just cyber attack us, man. Well, can't you defend them from cyber attack? Can't you defend from cyber attacks? Well, it's 50 of them to every one of us. You see that? Hey, hey, man, this is a beautiful thing, man. I say hurry up already. Go ahead. And not just that, you got China, U.S. Biden really told Ukraine that they gave them the green light to attack Russia with U.S. weapons, man. Which I'm going to touch on that too. Not in this video, but Lord willing in the next video. All right? Hey, man. This is the time, especially in these times, man, to put our best foot forward. Do all we can in this thing, man. Because anytime, man, it could be, you know, the doors of repentance can close, man. The family of the word be it.
Is incrementally pursuing separatism and bent on erasing Chinese identity. Now, China views Taiwan as its own territory, despite strong objections from Taipei, and last month staged war games around the island in anger at the May 20th inauguration of the President William Lai Ching-te. And I shared with you that this was in response to that, whom Beijing calls a separatist. Those separatists recently made fanatical statements that show their betrayal of the Chinese nation and their ancestors. They will be nailed to the pillar of shame in history, Dong said, adding that China was committed to peaceful reunification with Taiwan. And they're saying that now Taiwan is forcing their hand in this, that they wanted to have peaceful reunification, and they are not allowing it. The Chinese People's Liberation Army has always been an indestructible and powerful force in defense of the unification of the motherland, and it will act resolutely and forcefully at all times to curb the independence of Taiwan and to ensure that it never succeeds in its attempts. Dong told the forum on Sunday, saying that they will not allow Taiwan to separate from China. Whoever dares to split Taiwan from China will be crushed to pieces and will suffer their own destruction. Reacting to the Chinese minister's statements, Taiwan's government said that it deeply regretted the provocative and irrational remarks at that time. Now, Dong's remarks in Singapore followed the first substantive face-to-face talks in 18 months between the defense chief of China and the U.S., Dong and U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. They met for more than an hour at a luxury hotel hosting that forum. Now, we have always been open to exchanges and cooperation, but this requires both sides to meet each other halfway, Dong said at the Shangri-La dialogue. We believe that we need more exchanges precisely because there are differences between our two militaries, and they're referring to the United States and China. Now, here's another article that came out, and it says that the Chinese defense minister had told them that they were going to forcefully stop Taiwan's independence, and here is what they said. Dong vowed that the Chinese People Liberation Army would act resolutely and forcefully to prevent Taiwan's independence. He also accused Taiwan separatists. They recently made those fanatical statements that show their betrayal of the Chinese nation and their ancestors. They will be nailed to the pillars of shame in history, in what appeared to be an indirect reference to the United States, which sells weapons to Taiwan.
So you've been injured in a recent car accident and you want to get a major check like this right here. Here's what you're going to do.
Dong also said that the foreign powers were emboldening Taiwan separatists and they were undermining the one China principle with salami slicing tactics. So they're saying that the United States is sending over weapons to Taiwan, and they're saying that they're using salami slicing tactics, saying that they're not very strategic, and that they are not happy right now with Taiwan and the United States. These including selling arms to Taiwan and maintaining official contact with it, he said, and were aimed at using Taiwan to contain China. He said that China was committed to peaceful reunification, but that this possibility was being thwarted by Taiwan's independent forces and those that are supporting them. Now, here's what Taiwan said.
You see, they say that America using Taiwan to contain China. China, sees Taiwan's independence as a threat.
Taiwan had condemned the provocative and irrational remarks. Taiwan has responded to those remarks, saying they deeply regretted the provocative and irrational language. The Mainland Affairs Council, which is in charge of the island's policy towards China, reiterated that the People's Republic of China had never ruled the island. It accused China of repeatedly threatening force against Taiwan at international venues, threats it said were in breach of the United Nations Charter. It is an objective fact that the two sides of the Taiwan Strait are not subordinate to each other, and that it is also the status quo in the strait, it said. Although China regards Taiwan as a part of the People's Republic, the island has had an independent government since 1949, when Chiang Kai-shek evacuated his national government there after.
But hey, that's going to be, we ain't going to make this video too long. That's going to be the end of it. If you want to watch the rest, it says breaking: China threatens to crush U.S. and Taiwan. In parentheses, World War III. Steve Ram is the channel. Subscribe. He come out with some good news. But I hope that was edifying. And with that, shalom.